Hello, everyone. Today is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022, at 7:56 a.m. in the morning. I not long ago woke up at it was just before 7:20. It was just before 7:30. It was 7:20. It was 7:29, and y'all know who woke me up this morning. Y'all know who woke me up. The blue truck perp. So I think that excuse me, that he's a perp that's trying to drive me to not want to stay here anymore, trying to drive me to want to leave. I think that's his objective. But I ever since like yesterday evening, I've been hearing a little bit of noise from these people right here. I don't know if they're the same. I don't know if it's different people from the people like whoever was there a couple of weeks ago, but so I'll say that yesterday made a month since I stayed here. I've been staying here, I guess, since January 28th. Yeah, January 28th, which was a Friday. And it's been February 28th, and now it's March 1st. So I've been here officially since a month. So last night, I what happened last night was I tried to go to bed at by 11. Still couldn't go to sleep. I slept on the opposite edge of the bed so I wouldn't be tempted to fiddle with my phone. And I was, sleep deprived and tired from the day before. So what happened was my sleep was spotty last night. But I was able to get some sleep, but it was spotty. And so so then I'm sorry I kind of sound like slowed down because sometimes it can take a while, take a few days to even recover. I think that the longer days that you're sleep deprived, that's the longer it takes to recover. So I didn't start to have like sleep deprivation and constipation until I came up in here. But not to tell TMI, but yesterday I finally was able to make, for medical reasons, I'm saying I finally was able to have like, somewhat loose stools yesterday, because I had been go some days, no days at all, and because even when I was taking the bentonite clay every day in the other motel, I was going, almost every day or pretty much every day. But I was wondering like, what's the reason? But the day before yesterday and yesterday, I had some fresh some fresh raw fruits and vegetables, and I think that probably helped me because I think eating the canned food, like canned fruit and canned vegetables, it doesn't seem like it'll help you go to the bathroom. So my body's still feeling weak, and last night and the night before, it started back up again for me to feel vertigo, dizziness. So I forget that I have vertigo as a condition until I start back up again to experience it. I forget all about it until I have to experience it. So I'm still kind of sleepy and tired, but if I would try to go sleep some more, then it would seem like as if my body won't, or my mind or my body won't let me go back to sleep. But it it doesn't seem likely that I could land me a permanent place to live. I thought that if I combined my Social Security check with the refund check, in which they said it would take in between 1 and 3 weeks. Um, I thought if I combined the two, then if I combined the two, then and if I would have gotten everything this weekend, by Friday or Saturday, I would have hoped that that would have been enough for first and last month's rent for a place. But they don't. It's very scarce to have anything under $900 a month, in which my Social Security alone, I don't even get $900 a month. So um, that might be out of the question. But that's one thing that's homelessness is holding me back in so many ways. It's holding me from getting a lot of jobs opportunities. But then again, my targeting is hindering me from getting a lot of jobs. And I can't rent a car. I can't finance a car. I heard it will be very difficult to get car insurance being homeless. But I heard it's possible that one car dealership, well, it was like a used car dealership or something like that, that told me that the only way a homeless person can get a car is he would, have a way to buy the car outright. But, so, due to my mail situation, with Waterfront Mission playing with my mail, it's hard for me to try to get Section 8 again, or it's hard for me to get, certain other government benefits like food stamps. So, I don't know how much longer I'll end up staying here. Because I don't know if by it being March now, I don't know if this particular motel is gonna stop the weekly rates by around March 15th, like the other motels would do. And if that's the case, if they raise the weekly rates or stop the weekly rates, then I won't be able to stay here, and then that check will be just gone. But the way things are looking, it seems like as if I might have no other choice but to, if they don't raise the rates or anything like that, if they don't raise the rates, it looks like as if I would have just enough money to stay here comfortably and not have to ask for anything for a month with my Social Security check and the refund check combined. But I mean, I felt like I didn't want to spend my money that way, my refund check that way. I was hoping to try to land me a permanent place, but due to my monthly income being so low, it doesn't look like that is that possible because, landlords won't give you the time of the day if you don't have 3.5 times the rent. And I mean, well, I'm scared to try another cab company to try to I remember what happened the last couple of times, and I don't want my cab. I mean, if I were to try a cab driving job, and if that money were to just, if the money were to just go to waste or get thrown down a drain because of me being like gang stalked and taken advantage of with all my money with the cab company. So that's out the question. So, I wanted to do something more meaningful with my money than to just temporarily use my entire tax refund check plus this, um, the Social Security check combined. I mean, I wanted to do, when I say I wanted to do something meaningful, I mean like to once and for all get me a permanent place, and then y'all ain't got to worry about me again, especially if I can land me a work at home job. But my way of survival right now, since it's hard for me to try to get a place, is my way of survival right now is for me to try to, you know, whatever donations or anything or tips from my short stories. And so I thought about, like, somebody gave me the idea of when I did the video about how to take a bentonite clay detox bath. Well, of course, my version, because there's different versions, or different ways to, different recipes. Somebody suggested that I sell it on Shopify or Etsy or something. But the thing is, if my ebooks aren't selling, and they haven't been selling, and I got no sales on that Redbubble account, and and people, the majority of the time, people ignore me. So I felt like, well, it would be a waste of time and money for me to try to advertise things, and people ignore me on a daily basis, like on a daily norm. I get ignored, and people, a lot of times treat me like I'm existent and don't pay attention to me. So, in that case, it doesn't seem like as if I were to try to run, if I were to try to run a business, even if it's an online business, and try to advertise on Twitter or something, I'm not getting back on Facebook or Instagram. If I were to try to advertise on Twitter, then I'll be pretty much ignored. But I thought about, what if I were to buy a crock pot and learn how to make practice and learn how to make crock pot soap. But then again, what if nobody buys it because of, the gang stalking and stuff? If people want to pretend to fake like they're not interested or something, or um, if I would, because, but I don't know. I remember a few years ago, I tried to talk about, because even 2016, I was by my biological brother Pete's house, and I was scrambling around looking for what could I do, what job could I do, and just couldn't find anything. And so I was trying to figure out what job I could do online and couldn't find anything. And so I thought about the idea of making soap. And he's like, girl, nobody's going to buy soap from you because everybody's making soap now. But of course, he said that on purpose to be cruel and try to discourage me. But I never made soap before in my life, but I felt like I wanted to learn. But if not that, then I thought about if I would have tried to look online and for some recipes for if I were to make and sell, for example, like a magnesium oil deodorant, or if I could make my own magnesium oil or whatever. But if I were to have enough money to stay here for 1 month, and then by the next month I'll be back to having to beg and panhandle again, or back on the streets. I wouldn't have enough money to even buy like a crock pot and supplies and stuff like that. I don't know, because I don't even know how my sales would be. So, I don't know. It's just thinking up thoughts or whatever. And I don't even know I don't think I would have to have a license, or would I? I don't know if I would have to have a license or pay for a license to make and sell stuff online. And then, and with me having like, if I were to sell stuff online but physically make it in person and have to get it shipped and stuff, how could I do that, without a permanent address? So I guess the only thing I know how to do is, my short stories. And I don't have all the, I have a bachelor's degree, but I don't have a whole lot of skills because of being, blacklisted and not getting the opportunity to gain any work skills. And then my mind, from the psychiatry and mental health, and now the sleep deprivation, my brain feels like it's turned to mush. So it's like I'm just done with trying to go back to any schooling. Plus, I don't really have money for schooling anyway. But I want the meaningful stuff I wanted to do. I wouldn't have enough to get even a used car, but it would have been meaningful for me to land a permanent place. But I've been seeing people lately, talk about stocking up. Stocking up and preparing, and preparing food, water, supplies. Prepare like as if you're preparing for a hurricane, but more long term. And some people say don't hoard, but just stock up and prepare. But and then I'm hearing about how people, even Cardi B, I think Cardi B is controlled opposition fake truther. Even Cardi B, they're all saying, take your cash out of the banks, take your money out of your banks. They're saying take your money out of the banks, and but then again, I hear that money is supposed to be obsolete with the economic crash. And then I'm hearing about this nuclear fallout that might happen, that we might have to go to bunkers or shelters or something, nuclear shelters or whatever. Um, and then of course the FEMA camps and martial law. So with this war going on, but some people say best and foremost, first and foremost, to try to get right with God and to get close to God, and you know and a lot of people say, forgive your enemy. Well, the Bible does say that too, forgive your enemies. But if a person is still hurting you and wicked, we gotta separate ourselves from them. But I know it's difficult to try to, it's difficult to try to forgive. I mean, it's a big hurdle to try to forgive people who have ruined you and destroyed you. And I learned that people who've done me wrong 20 years ago, it's easier for me to forgive them if they ain't in my life no more. But I mean, if they completely and totally out of my life, it's easier for me to forgive them. But they have people who I went to school with who I haven't seen in 20 years or so. And if I see them, and like in 2017 or 2018, they would turn their nose up at me and give me dirty looks, or they would look at me like as if they see me every day. And, no excitement, no, hey, Candy, no, I mean, they just like, hey. But I mean, it's like you haven't contacted me, or we haven't heard from each other in over 20 years, since like junior high or something. Or you turn your nose up and get an attitude and ignore me, and you still got a certain hatred towards me from high school. I thought we were more mature than that. But or people will see me 20 years later and still bully, harass, and laugh at me if they see me in a store. You know, so it doesn't look like my desires are. I mean, it looks like as if my desires to do what I really want to do with the money is out of the question. If it's out of the question for me to try to pursue a business idea, or for me to get me a permanent place to live, I mean, those seem like not sure iffy possibility. But if those are both out of the question, then I might have to, stay here for a whole month. But if that's out of the question, then I guess I probably would have to just stay here until the money runs out. But if not, I mean, if I stay here until the money runs out, but then I might, depending on the weather, if there's tornado and hail like there was last April, then I might have to panhandle and ask for some more in order to keep a safe roof over my head. But I still have not been able to find a job opportunity, a job. And I hear about places of business being short staffed, and that they're hurting for people. But then when I go for the job interview, oh, sorry, ma'am, there was somebody more experienced than you. When they say no experience necessary, and we will train, or training provided. And then, like with the car thing, I mean, the car dealership job that I went to recently, oh, no experience necessary, we will train. And then He tried to say, get you some experience in retail for at least 6 months and then come back and see me. But I can't even get a retail job. They won't hire me. And then with my disability, I can't work around retail because of my hypersensitive ears, and they do have nothing but loud noise, like loud music and stuff. Loud music everywhere, like this loud, ungodly music everywhere. They blast and play the music like it's important and a must. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just not sure what's going on. But then again, I gotta keep my eyes on watch because I don't know what direction this war is going. And as I said, people saying take your money out of the bank, stock up and prepare, pray, and like the Bible saying, watch and pray. So and I need to practice fasting again. I need to practice to do that. So I'm still open for donations if you want to. If I write more short stories or if you like my short stories and stuff like that. And if they stop sleep depriving me, I could work on my nonfiction and fiction ebooks. So I'm going to go for now. And thanks for listening to me.